Basic elements of C++. In this chapter, we will become familiar with the basic components of a C++ program, including functions, special symbols, and identifiers. We're going to explore simple data types, discover how to use arithmetic operators, examine how a program evaluates arithmetic expressions. In this chapter also, we're going to learn what an assignment statement is and what it does. We're going to become familiar with the string data type, discover how to input data into memory using input statements, become familiar with the use of increment and decrement operators, and we're going to examine ways to output results using output statements. Lastly, in this chapter, we're going to learn how to use preprocessor directives and why they are necessary, learn how to debug syntax error, explore how to properly structure a program, including using comments to document a program, and learn how to write a C++ program. A computer program is a sequence of statements whose objective is to accomplish a certain task, while programming is already a process of planning and creating a program. Let's have a glance of a sample C++ program. Sharp include IOStream is actually what we call the preprocessor directive. A preprocessor directive includes a sharp sign, the word or the syntax include, together with a header file, IOStream. IOStream stands for input-output streaming. Together with that is using namespace std. And after the preprocessor directive, we have the main program that uses the word or the keyword int and main. Within that area of the main function or the main program, it encloses with curly braces. And within the main program, we have what we call a declaration statement and an execution statement. As mentioned on the previous slide, main is a function. A function is a collection of statements. When you execute, it accomplishes something or perform a certain task. Function can be a predefined or a standard function. When you say syntax, syntax rules that specify which statements or instructions are legal or not, or valid or invalid. Programming language is a set of rules, symbols, and special words. So that's C++ program. And when you say semantic rule, semantic means it's a meaning of the instructions within the programming language. Comments or program comments are optional within the programming in C++. Comments are just for the reader, not for the compiler. There are two types of comments in C++. Single line, which denotes with // and multiple lines that denotes /* and */. You may use this when you are performing or doing, like for example, documentation processes or clarification purposes. These are the following special symbols valid for C++. Plus sign, minus sign, asterisk sign for multiplication, slash sign, period, semicolon, for comparison operator, question mark, comma, less than or equal sign, not equal sign, is equal to sign, and greater than or equals to sign. Here are some list of the reserved words, or we call it keywords or word symbols in C++. That includes int, in declaring integer or integral data type, float, or double, that declares a double type of value or with decimal or fractional component, char for character data type, const if we're talking about a constant value or a named constant, void that should not return a value, and return if your program is returning a value. Identifiers or variables. Identifier consists of letters, digits, and the underscore character. Identifiers in C++ must begin with a letter or underscore. And take note that in C++, when you create an identifier, it is case sensitive. That means if you have declared number with a capital letter, number is not the same as number with a small letter. Two predefined identifiers are cout and cin. Cout and cin is already a keyword in C++, but it is a predefined identifier, meaning you can't use that as your variable or identifier. Unlike reserved words, predefined identifiers may be redefined, but it is not a good idea. Here are some legal identifiers that you may use in C++. First, conversion, pay rate. The following table have an examples of illegal identifiers. Employees pay salary, meaning you may not use a space or there's no space between employee and salary. You should use either an underscore or you may use a camel casing such as like pay rate. So you may actually put all together the word employee and salary as one, and the second word should have a capital letter, or the first character of the second word must be in the capital letter. Hello, exclamation point. Exclamation point is not included when you are creating an identifier in C++. 1 plus 2, again, plus symbol is not included. You may only use, again, an underscore for an identifier. Second, 2 is not valid because an identifier cannot begin with a digit. In every C++ program, it contains white spaces. White spaces include blanks, tabs, and new line characters. We use white spaces to separate special symbols, reserved words, and identifiers. Proper utilization of white spaces is important. It can be used to make the program more readable. Data type is a set of values together with a set of operations. In C++, data types fall into three categories. These are the simple data types, structured data types, and pointer data types. Here in CS126-8, we're going to focus on simple data types. For simple data types, there are three categories of simple data, which are integral, floating point, and enumeration type. When you say integral, it is a numbers without a decimal. If you're going to declare a variable that is with a number, and that number is a whole number, you may use integer or integral. Floating point is for decimal numbers or with fractional components, while enumeration type is a user-defined data type. Here are some integral data types. It is further classified into 9 categories. These categories are char for character data type, short for integer data type with a shorter range, int or integer, long is also integer type with a longer range, bool or boolean expression with true or false. Another type of categories for integral data types are unsigned char, unsigned short, unsigned int, and unsigned long. Table 2-2 shows values and memory allocation for three simple data types. Integer data type ranging from negative 2,147,483,648 to positive 2,147,483,647. That's equivalent to 4 bytes. Bool contains value of true and false or ones or zeros, and equivalent storage is just 1 byte. Same as character, character contains range from negative 128 to positive 127, and the storage is equivalent to 1 byte. So take note that different compilers may allow different ranges of values. For int data type, these are the valid example. A negative sign with number 6,728 without a comma, 0, 78, and a positive 763. Take note that positive integers do not need a positive sign. Whether there is a positive sign or there's no positive sign, that's already considered as positive integers. No commas are used within an integer. Commas are used only for separating items in a list. Another data type is bool data type. Bool type has two values, which is true and false. It manipulates logical or Boolean expression. Take note that true and false are logical values. The word bool, the word true, and the word false is a keyword or reserved words in C++ that can't be used as your variable or identifier.